there is a perfect formula and you can play on any roulette in the world. Well, I know roulette probably from 2000, okay, year 2000, even more, but let's say a reasonable year is like 12 years ago. I never played since 6 years ago as a professional gambler, okay, because I did not understand how can you be a professional gambler till that moment when I start to study, when I start to invest money. But what it was attracted me to be there is that there is a possibility to win on roulette, okay? So I've seen my people from my country or people worldwide which they have spent so much money playing on roulette, and I've decided that probably it's better for me to start a little bit to look if there's really exists something to discover about roulette. Now the first information was it is not possible to win on roulette, okay? It was the same for me. But what was made at me to go to this road when one day somebody, four people from Hungarian, it was from Hungary, they was coming inside a casino. As you see, I've made some live experiments where I go in casinos with high record camera and I showing you how I win, because it's not so easy to go there with the camera to record, because they don't allow you with that, okay? In that moment, I've come after a few hours, and it was a scandal there. Well, do you hear about that? People, they was winning at least from two casinos in maximum 6 hours. They was made 35,000 euros. Okay, so this was some guys. There was four guys which was playing on each four picture. There is this table where you play. I will showing you in some here. And what they had done is to put on one dozen, and they was playing in that moment with tons of money, but the same bet on all four betting, on all four tables, okay? So when I was go there and I was here, the owner of that casino, he was paying on that person, but they was not allowed anymore to go in this casino, okay? Because they was made some money. They was starting to look inside the computer program to see if it's possible to make something wrong inside, and they was verified that. Now what I was done the next day, it was to be, let's say, more curious about that cases, okay? Because I was thinking that it's not possible to win on roulette. So how that these people was being banned from that casinos if was only pure luck, okay? So casinos have this knowledge that you can beat roulette, but it's not so important for them if you make money and you win, when 99.9% of people does not winning, okay? Because nobody knows to win on roulette. So I've been more invested my time to discover if there is a secret on roulette and how you can win. Now the second step was that when the programmer, it was coming to verify the roulette, so he's coming, opening the software inside, the mechanism software inside, and he's seeing something about how you see right now in this video. So you see a little bit an idea about what is happening. So they seen a statistic if the numbers are randomized equal, and there is no something, let's say that you open the table for roulette and you put the ball in one place over and over again, okay? Because if you crack the roulette, you put on one time, two times, three times, so there is an error which will come between the numbers. So this programmer was told me that we verify in, let's say, in few things, they have a secret on how they keep tracking to see if was cracking the roulette or he was winning in the right and fair way. Now at that point I've realized that there is a program, there is a system on how to track numbers, and there is the possibility to win. But how can you win? These people was playing on dozens, only on dozens, but it was not there to find them, to talk about them, because they changed cities. So they was going in other cities. They was at that time I know that it was 68 or 5 or 58 casinos only in my city. So imagine how many casinos are in worldwide, okay? So they have these people tons of money, and they go from city to city, but they win very much money. Now when I put this information with the information 16 years ago about patterns, when I was meet a student which was winning to red-black systems. So it was that games, so you win, bam, 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 you push red, black, and you win, okay? So in that cases, I've discovered that this student, it was recording each red-black color, what is was arriving, and he was told me how can make money with the information, because you record the cards, and when one time it comes one card, two cards, so these four types of cards, you take and you look. He was looking in it was having a notebook, and there it was tons of patterns. So he was studying the patterns, and he was looking when it was the last few cards in the same manner. So he was looking in this kind of patterns, and he was betting in that moment. So he was winning very, very much money. Now in these days, there are not anymore that poker system which was 12 years ago. But there is a possibility to discover patterns inside the softwares, okay? Because even roulette, even anything, even if you go in a real casino, it's a software inside, okay? So it's a mechanism, it's a software which generate that kind of numbers, and by applying that patterns from the software, the roulette cannot be kraken or cannot be, let's say, managed about the groupier. Because if you go in 60 years ago, the groupier was having the possibility to spin the ball, and by spinning the ball, it was having this opportunity to remember in 3 months where the ball will land, okay? So what they have done, it is that after years of practice, casinos have seen that this kind of groupiers, they work with people from outside, and they make money together. So this groupier is good, but he cannot withdraw the money from the casino because he's working there. So what he has done, he goes to a house and he calls some friends and he tells, look, you come at 11 or at some hour in that casinos, we stay there, you play, you don't know me, and you put the ball when you see that I want to spin the ball from this point, because there is some notes on casino. So when you spin the ball, it's count where the ball is there when in the moment when you spin the ball. So like that, they was knowing in how many rounds he plays this groupier. So if he spin the ball 6 times, 10 times, there is a system which you can track with mechanic roulette. So what they have done, they was made tons of money, okay? So they have tracking that this groupier is very good. On this groupier, they was losing very much money in the end of the week or in the end of months, and they realized that these kind of groupiers, they make money from mechanic roulette, the old roulette, okay? But what they have done is that they have understand that they cannot change this if they not implement a software inside the casinos, okay? So this is why they have changed from mechanic to electronic, because electronic cannot be predicted by a groupier. Now, if you see, even if you play right now, even today, if you play on any casino live or in any casino you go, you see that and groupiers 1 hour, they are not allowed to stay on one table. They need to change the groupier. They need to because they don't trust groupier, okay? Because even the groupier is paid with $2,000, $3,000 per month, okay? So they don't trust in groupier, and it's obvious to not trust somebody which rules so much money. So what they had done, it is to implement this RNG system. There are tons of net entertainment, micro gaming. So these services, electronic services, which they have created softwares, okay, worldwide, and they had this fair game, because in that moment the groupier cannot predict anymore which ball lands. They cannot make friends and this kind of stuff with the gamblers, because they are changed each 30 minutes, so the tables are changed, so they cannot share all the information which is possible. Now, after this information, you kind understand that I was starting to put myself some questions. How can I use this information to start and see if it's something good? And at that time, years ago, I was starting to invest in searching patterns. Now, at that time, this is why I'm telling you that it's very, very hard for you if you are a beginner without my help. I was having money, and I was investing money, I was playing tons of money, because I was on the standard roulette in the time when I was playing on real money, okay? So it was very hard. So you can imagine how implemented I was being at that time, that I really wanted to find the secret on roulette. So I was starting using on a real money, and I was investing tons of money, because each time I was finding something, but in the end I was losing money, okay? Because I was keep going, keep playing, and at some point casino software was tracking how I playing, and bam, I was losing again. So in that point, you have seen that the software, there is a software which I train you guys in the mini pack of 500 euros, and I explain you about how important it is to know, to study that software, okay? So it's very, very powerful, my stuff, because once you are to this track, once you are to this information which I have, you can understand why I have the secret on roulette, because I really have studied. I've got so much information, I've invested so much money, and there is a possibility, guys. I'm not the only one, okay? So there is a possibility, but it's very hard if you don't have me to invest my time with you to helping you to understand, okay? Because nobody will try to invest so much time, so much effort on somebody who is not investing, okay? Because I invest in tons of money. We talk about roulette. Now, once you know roulette, your problems are finished, okay?